4 warriors. Confronting them, like challenging the winter itself. The snow that blinds you gives them strength. And the ice belongs to them. Prepare yourself for a cold wind blows.
Texas, 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 let's get on with it. Welcome to day 2. The OpTic Texas Major has not disappointed. I'll tell you what, friends, yesterday was something special. Today will be even more magical than that. And then, oh dear, my goodness, Saturday, Sunday, sheesh! We'll work on it, we'll work on it. Anyway, we've got plenty of time to get that one done, but we don't have plenty of time, though, to get these players out and get this match on the road. Without further ado, you saw them yesterday, a heartbreaking defeat. Can they right the wrongs today? The Los Angeles Guerrillas. Slasher, Asim, Gunless, and Huke.
With boos and cheers, the audience is currently mixed. And I'm going to be completely honest. From what we saw from LAG yesterday, all eyes are going to be on Asim and Huke, because to me personally, I feel like they could kick it up a notch a little bit. And Miles, the Guerrillas are looking to come back even better today.
Well, they have to. We're in the lower bracket now, friends. That means losers are going home. Now a team we're going to welcome for the first time their debut here at the Major. Ladies and gentlemen, Minnesota Røkkr. Standy, Attach, MajorManiak, and Priestahh.
And from the cheers, it looks like the crowd chose Røkkr. This team, it's the battle of the purple, right? But I'm looking at MajorManiak right now, with everybody in the league knowing that he brings that veteran leadership and the fact that he's played with some of the best out there. The fact remains that this guy knows how to win, and seeing the Røkkr on the main stage for the first time this event, chance, I'm ready to get the games going.
I'm just so excited for this match, right? I mean, MajorManiak was certainly a player early on that he was godlike at the Kickoff Classic and for the first couple matches. Maybe dropped form just a little bit early on, but he's one of those players, and same, honestly, across the board. If he can get things going, oh, baby, will they have a good time.
Miles, let's go ahead and get this thing started.
Oh, it's with great pleasure that we get this one going. 2 great teams, the Battle of Purple. Let's see how it goes down. Maven, Merc, are we ready, friends?
Absolutely. Thank you, Miles. First off, before we even get into things, that Røkkr intro video was
hot.
neat.
I like it.
Yeah, it had like this
Looked
Game
good.
of Thrones like fantasy thing to it. I was with it.
Playing cards.
Yeah, no, it was very, very cool. But talking about Røkkr, like if you looked at it on paper and just came in and saw it, they were 2 and 3, and you just joined, you'd be like, these guys are really struggling, right? A team that you have a lot of expectations for. But they've had tough losses.
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 ways to look at it. On one side, it's a team that won Major 5. They were going on runs deep at the end of the year. I mean, you would expect them to be a contender. They just haven't been, right? They've had 3 losses to teams that we do consider contenders at this point.
You listen to what? Ravens, FaZe, even Close Series versus Seattle at Game 5. Like it's like, it's not bad losses, right?
Yeah, they're not bad losses, but you would love for one of those to be wins.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, if they're a win, they're starting in the winner's bracket. That's the scary thing here. So for Minnesota Røkkr, it's just, what kind of team is this? Right, and starting 0-5 in map 1, that's tough to do in this league. You can't do that.
Yeah, I think maybe there was a time you could get away with that 5 years ago. Or
Not
more.
nowadays.
It's just not now. It's just too competitive. There's less teams. It's just, you're not going to get away with that. So we heard the chat they had with, I guess, MajorManiak coming out of the restroom. They may be fired up. They know they need to get the map 1 win, but here's the maps and modes. And it's going to go down on Gavutu to kick things off for Hardpoint, and we'll see if they can get off to a strong footing. But the pacing thing, I guess it's weird to hear, because we know, like, what's an example? Maybe Attach hasn't always been like the fastest sub. You know, he's not an aBeZy on the map, but like they seem to be a team that should have a ton of versatility. Like everyone can play like every position.
Yeah, I mean, you look at this squad, right? I think the big 3 of Standy, Attach, and Priestahh. I mean, whoever's running that 2nd/3rd AR, they should have a very strong team, right? Strong slaying power. but that really hasn't been there, right?
Yep.
You have to figure out, I think it really is between Attach and Priestahh, them getting on the same page, because we've seen Standy. We saw it last year. We know he's going to fly. He's going to break through some of those walls. It's just who's going to be right beside him.
And now for Guerrillas, like we saw them yesterday. It's as simple as just continue the improvements in 2, 3, 5. Just
they lost
get back
both
to
hard
our
points, right? You lost both hard points yesterday. I mean, they were able to clutch up to control. They were able to take, what, a round 11 again versus London Royal Ravens. But, yeah, they lost both of their hard points, so we'll see if they can get back to it here in the W column in this map number 1.
Day 2 of Major 1, we kick it off from Huke to Nuke's POV as he had some standout plays yesterday, but now going against Standy and the boys, and well, they get it ripping early as Priestahh and Standy combined to take down 2 as the battle starts here at Ring. And for Guerrillas, like with the struggle, yes, nearly all 4, but as Gunless can't quite finish it. What was the problem for Guerrillas, you think, just in the hard points?
I mean, they were slaying well, but London broke them, right? That was really it. You look at those close games yesterday, and they just weren't able to hold on. I mean, the slaying was there from the Guerrillas. It's not like they got outslayed or one-sided. They just, I mean, could not hold on to the hills. The London did what they did best, but Minnesota Røkkr now a strong start on this B1.
But they're not a really good break team, right? Versus where London are. So maybe Guerrillas, you get some good setups, maybe you can hold on to them a little bit better, but what a start it is from Røkkr. Attach on 3 in a row before he drops. Just about to eclipse the 40-point mark. On the side of Guerrillas, you've got 0. When are you going to get rolling? There's the first point on the board, but it's Priesth's POV to try and get in and get nasty with the help of MajorManiak as he looks to push top ship. Unfortunately for him, it's Gunless ready and waiting, who, man, he had the snapper at times yesterday.
I mean, he always does. I mean, the guy is just so consistent as a player. He's been doing it for so long, already up to 7-3. Attach off spawn, able to find a couple of kills, but early on it's all about that mid-map control. Standy going for a nice flank through that P1 side. He's going to come down the stairs. That's going to be 3 dead for the Guerrillas. Make that all 4 as the break will come through with about 25 seconds left. You see Priestahh, number 5, already starting that rotation. He wants to make sure he's controlling ring sides when we go towards that P3.
Yeah, he wants to try and get these shortcuts through the push or maybe the long wrap around beach side, but yeah, he's going to get stunned and I think pushed out immediately. They also find the kill onto Standy, who is getting set up deep. Oh, sorry, that was MajorManiak who was getting set up deep. So right into the hard point will go Asim, looking to soak up some time.
Watch Huke.
They start to mount this early comeback.
Huke's going on one of those long routes right now. He's able to find 1. Can he find number 2? Not able to do so. With that kill, they may have been able to get on the time, get a nice setup, but MajorManiak able to snap, finds that trade. So it's a bit of a contest fest right now. You'll take this if you are LA Guerrillas because, you know, you have that P4 rotation. They have the spawns that they want. But Standy off spawn, trying to do what he can.
Well, this is where the rotations change a bit, right? Like, you've got some pretty short rotations, 1 through 3, but to 4 and then to 5, it can be a hike. You can really punish teams.
Oh, it's a hike. I mean, we all know it, right? Playing range, just watching the CDL at 20, 30 seconds across this map. It can be difficult to do so. The Guerrillas still have that narrow lead about to change. But now the focus on that rotation. Priestahh trying to get cliffside control, not going to happen. Next step's going to be Attach, as the Guerrillas is going to try to get set up as they can.
Well, this is one of those examples maybe yesterday where if you're Guerrillas, you're in a pretty good spot, you just weren't able to hold. This is where you need to rack up a lot of time. You've got the good position, but there is a big push coming in beachside. You see at number 6 and number 8, MajorManiak and Standy starting to work up, but the cross is there from Gunless, and he's able to hit the shots and start to punish the aggression, but it's Priestahh with a lovely double. Just tries to hit that gap, but is that an opening for his teammates to now get in?
Yeah, and to me, that's good enough. I mean, those are those sort of the communication between LA Guerrillas. They have to know what is open. Where could someone be sneaking through? They get into the point. They're slaying from the point right now. Slasher trying to do what he can. One of his teammates is going to push all the way through for that next rotation. But yeah, it happens again. It's a 2-piece from Priestahh. Opens up this hill. It's what we talked about, a break that LA Guerrillas, they have to work on that. It is just a weak point from what we've seen here at the Major.
And if that happens with like 15 to 20 left,
sure,
not a big deal,
not
right?
45.
Exactly. It's just too early. You'll take that a bit later. Now look at that number 5 though. In Priestahh.
He's going to do it again.
He's got the deep wrap around as he's trying to make the play. Minnesota trying to get huge. They built a bit of a lead here. I want to hear the comms as the pinch is about to come in. Let's go to a listen in with Minnesota Røkkr.
Top right green. Go on, challenge one time. Top right green. Go. Top green. Run up on the guy time. He's one shot dead. Nice. Top green. I did it.
Yo, what's T2? T2 guys.
Last guy T2. Last guy T2. Last guy T2. I got 3.
Nice, good job. Take your time. They're gonna close. They're
Nading over.
close. I'm nading over. I'm gonna rotate your top.
One shot on time. One shot on time. Nice, I got one. That's guy. That's us. Go look at the cross. Good time. I'll look at the cross. I'm top 3. I'm top 3.
I'm at ring, guys. I'm at ring.
I have the cross.
No. Shut up.
One's crossing deep. Cross 2 crossing deep. I'm jumping off. I'm helping you.
Stun deep. Dead.
They have to go beach. They have to go beach.
Okay, I have beach.
Ace him deep.
Yeah, I'm dropping them. Hold on.
They can go by ring stairs. Don't go by ring stairs.
Deep push shot. They can be up close.
Run. Yeah, close. Ace him. You right outer. Our side outer.
They're gonna be looking for me, guys. I'm gonna try to stay alive. I'm trying to stay alive.
Did you kill the guy mid?
There's one deep mid.
T1.
Coming back up our side.
I'm nading. Hold on. I'm nading outer. Yeah, just stay in circle. We got their side weak.
I'm in circle. I don't see him. Circle.
Our side, you. Sep, sorry.
Yeah, our side, you, Huke. Nice, let's go. I'm behind.
Someone need to help me heal.
Yep. Go home. I'm here to help mid. There's 2 tower, Dill. There's 2 tower, okay?
Then Preston is getting fired up. Priestahh on 6 in a row. You heard it at one point, just shit on. Like, he is fired up. He's making the plays. And, well, they got the lead.
This is the intensity you would want to see, right? 0-5 map 1, just trying to get this figured out. And that's called bringing the intensity. In the communication, I think we know that these guys, they've been playing on the main stage for so long. Attach, Priestahh. And, you know, sometimes it's like, you know, backs have to be up against the wall. But this is a little bit different here in the game 1. And you see the slaying coming out. This is what we wanted to see. 3 ARs. You have such strengths across the board. Priestahh's on a 7 spree now. Attach almost up to 20 kills and, well, a 70-point lead.
Did you hear anything listening that maybe you didn't love, though? Like, there was a little sequence there around ring where I think a timing might have got mixed up a little bit.
Yeah, but that just
happens.
I think the big thing was you just heard the intensity from those guys.
Yeah, and you got to love that, 100%. You've just seen what these guys are capable of. You know, you're never out of it. They have some of the greatest combined victories of all time, but right now it's them holding the lead, up 50, 30 to go on the hard point. Is Guerrillas slowly working to climb their way back as Slasher is soaking up the time, as Priestahh keeps the gunny hot, finding one on the gunless, and that's the hot hand you need to slow down. I mean, gunless is really carrying the slaying load completely on the LAG side.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a big break there for the Minnesota Røkkr. Just slow this down. Gunless almost does find the second. Huke on this rotation, you gotta try to get pushed up towards this ringside. This is actually a good setup already for Guerrillas. With Huke in this position, he's gonna be able to cut off the reinforcements, and this is gonna be some good time early on.
I mean, these next 2 kind of decide the game, right? Like, you just can't give up a big break.
Yeah, but Priestahh, he's got that spree. He's got the glide bomb. 3 go down for Guerrillas. The last one is Huke trying to hold the line, but Major with a beautiful shot, and, well, they're in the hill.
Yeah, that might be the break. You get the streaks beautifully from Priestahh. What a use it is. And then the rest of the teammates come up clutch. And now, once again, behind the break, just soaking up the time. Over the 185 point mark. And second by second, you feel just maybe this is going to be the time they get that map 1 hard point win, but not quite out of it yet. They got another big fight coming up next at the tail end of this hard point. But it's Slasher's POV. The hip fire will hold true, and he's just trying to find an angle to maybe pick him out of the point, but the stun's not going to help that.
All right, so Guerrillas kind of get done what they wanted to do, right? The glide bomb and the break comes in, so they decide off spawn, let's just push the middle, let's give them the rest of that time, and we're back over towards this P4. This is where, well, we saw the break come through for Røkkr. Can they turn this into 60 seconds? A full 60, they're going to be right back into the game. Or is the Minnesota Røkkr going to break them once again?
And who was it? It was Priestahh. 18 and 15 that found the double to open things up. There's another one from Priestahh. They can't quite trade it out. He's laying prone. He's the bait there as Standy's able to pick up one more. Once again, it seems Priestahh might be the one to make the plays, the slide, the snap, but it's a seam that is up to the task. And his Slasher finds 2. They hold on. They keep clawing back. You still have a chance to get around that 180 point mark. Don't count out Guerrillas quite yet.
Yeah, you already see Priestahh, 30 seconds left. He's already thinking about it. He's like, you know what? Let's just give him that. Let's get into our setup. Huke's going to be on the other side, taking the long route. And, well, that timing perfect. The stun hits onto Huke. So Priestahh has this information. He's getting some nade kills as well. They got to hunt down Huke. This is really the big play for them as they can get set up here at P5.
Just where is he?
Where is he?
Where is he? He doesn't clear.
Huke might not shoot here. He might not even shoot here.
I don't know if he saw him here yet. Just based
he
on
hasn't.
time.
He's trying to find him.
I don't think either have seen each other. And now it's just like, who might get fortunate? It'll be Huke. There's going to be the opening. But you see the close spawn still going to come in. That number 7 and attached is going to pop. 8 as well. Standy's still there. You're going to have to find more kills if you are Guerrillas. And in the point, it's Røkkr getting close to 15 points to close this out. Huke hitting his shots. He's able to clear them out of the point, and that's a big one. He's played his life. He's gotten them out of the time, but finally he's going to drop.
Yeah, I mean, he's made the plays that he's has to. Now off the spawn, it's up to his teammates to try to get across, but attached, MajorManiak going to find 3. 15 more seconds for Røkkr here. Maybe they're going to win a map 1 here at the Major. They're finding all the kills, the slaying. Just so darn good across the board for them.
You heard how fired up they were. Is attached now. The 30 bomb in the books. The final second there as well. And Røkkr, they can win a map 1. A lot to be fired up about if you're Røkkr, and I think what it came down to for me is we were talking about the inability to hold well if you're Guerrillas. We kind of pointed at that radar hold, and
that was the big one. That was like really the turning point where the lead.
It was just too easy.
Yeah, it came for Røkkr, and they held on to that lead the rest of the game. But you can see there, just what, 30 out of attach, 23, 22 from Priestahh, Major, Standy as well. That could be a tough sub map to play on. I mean, Huke and Gunless both put up 3K, but it just was not that balanced effort that you were looking for.
I just love, man, the listen and just the fire. Because I think as we look through some of these highlights, like, you know, Standy came into this Røkkr team. He was kind of their superstar last year. Like, he was the flashy one, the fast one. But it feels like we all know you can unlock Priestahh. I think anyone that's been watching for the last 5 years knows what he can be, and he took a back seat with that FaZe team 100%. But when they need him to step up, like, I feel like sometimes people forget how ridiculously talented he is.
If you look at their Major 5 comeback last year and the 5 maps that they won, I think it was really attached and Priestahh that was the difference maker. Does Standy have to still do Standy things? Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
But those two were playing on a different level, and I think you're getting it here. We know how long have we known? Like, Attach is a guy, he loves the stage. He loves the big moments, and sometimes if it's a pool play, an online match, he's just not playing at that level, but you got it here in game 1.
Do you think that's just because he found, maybe it's because he found so much success at a young age? Like, he won a world championship. And like,
I don't know, like, he always lived for that moment, whether he was on FaZe, like Denial, like, he loved playing OpTic. It's just, I don't know, he stepped up. He was always the kid to do so, but now is, you know, he's a vet now. He's got to be a consistent performer.
Well, it's just you see why, you know, we love the versatility of a Priestahh or an Attach. You saw what Attach was doing with an AR in his hand. I think sometimes it's like when you need the 3 subs out, though, like, this league isn't what it was 5 years ago. Like, there are so many talented subs that just hold forward, don't value their life, and you just go and you gun people. And that is just part of the game now. And you got to have that to some, maybe multiple players that can do that.
It's just, it can be difficult to adapt. I think I could speak to that. At times, it's sort of like, what?
I'm doing what in Advanced Warfare?
Yeah, right. Like, I'm doing what is happening. This isn't okay. There's a lot of fundamentals that you almost have to forget. And but yeah, these guys can do it. They have a great coaching staff. So, yeah, well, I mean, we'll see what adjustments they can make.
And we didn't really talk about that much. We're going to take a look at kind of Huke and Standy and where they stand in Search and Destroy. But I was vocal about Looney. I really thought he could be a valuable asset to the team. And it's early, but I'm excited to see what he can do. Like, he is one of the more knowledgeable guys. I think he will tell a player to shut up when he needs to and get the point across. So I'm looking forward to see how that goes as well.
Yeah, very straightforward. Yeah, I love the man. But yeah, here you can see these two, they're S&D top performers. And we saw it yesterday from Huke on this map against London. It's like when they needed a big 2 kills, it was him. Really towards that A bomb site. And that's where you're going to ask for him to have a very good map, because Minnesota Røkkr, where do they see a lot of success? It is over towards that A side. I think it's 70% success rate over there.
And, you know, we're really talking just briefly as we get prepped for this.
Oh, there it is, dude. That's
you're spot on. You're so smart. It got it.
Well, they sent that to me. I was just making sure.
Okay. All right. Yeah, no, that was a really good job. But are you starting to get a little worried, I guess? I mean, you lost to Hardpoints yesterday for Guerrillas, but you lost to a very good team. Not that Røkkr can't be a very good team, but they haven't won a map 1 yet. Now you lose a 3rd Hardpoint. It's like, you got to be looking at each other with question marks, right?
Yeah, it's a couple of those plays. I think it comes down to the comms. I mean, when we were watching scrims, and it was all about those routes and making sure you had an idea of where every single player was, saying the name. Because when you're saying the name, someone might be like, wait, we haven't said this person in a while, right? Yeah. Like, where is Priestahh? Priestahh was the one that made that play. So, yeah, just not taking those shortcuts.
Well, I guess I'm just maybe looking forward to, if we get to a map 4, can they ham up some of maybe the mistakes. But to Berlin, search and destroy we go. You can see the offensive win percentage there, how good they have been. You know, you're second in the league. When you're Minnesota, you're getting that bomb down. You're doing an incredible job of efficiently winning rounds.
Yeah, but we saw, I mean, as bad as the stats were, this was the best map for Los Angeles Guerrillas. Now, a couple of those wins were in round 11, right? We saw it yesterday. But, yeah, I mean, they've been studying that VOD, going over it with one another. And you can see that the slaying is there for Los Angeles Guerrillas, but the teamwork's got to be better.
I mean, that's usually the kind of numbers, and I know it comes from the hardpoint for the most part, but like you're all sitting between like a 1 and a 1.5. That's usually like what wins tournaments. Yeah. Like a lot of times, you don't need someone with a 1-2. You have that balanced effort, and that's how you get the job done. But now to game 2, S&D, Guerrillas in Røkkr, as Guerrillas will look to bounce back. Røkkr will continue to try to put nails in the coffin. Is attached, caught some nails to the forehead in the form of Slasher's auto. Just deleted.
Some of the angles in this game, man, that players are finding. Attached was like, is that a guy? I think that is. And before that, he was dead. But Asim, fantastic here over towards his B site yesterday. Does an excellent job playing his life. It's the same setup that we saw Gunless watching that cross. He's all about the info. But early on, it's a 2 versus 4.
Also, when your AR and sub have the same time to kill as a sniper bullet, basically. So
that's very true. A couple of those headshots of that multiplier, and you're done.
It's so fast, man. It looks wild. But Gunless, the ankle sticking out just a little bit too much. Nearly gets his foot ripped clean off, but knocked down to 69 HP and able to stay up. Now it's a fight with the pistol. Huke going to be able to take that gunfight, and suddenly it's 4 up for Guerrillas. MajorManiak going to be the last alive, and I feel like I was looking at Guerrillas to clutch up in these spots a lot yesterday, but they come in, they handle, they dominate round 1.
And while they don't go towards A, the first blood helps from Slasher on a attach, right, who's watching that cross, seeing how many players are going to play towards that B site. But maybe, you know, Minnesota Røkkr just switching it up, trying to show them something a little bit different. Because, I mean, if you're watching the VOD, you're prepping for them to have a lot of success towards A. They're trying to throw them off guard, but just the first round.
I think I hear some LAG chants after. I was a little worried during when the teams got introduced.
A lot of Røkkr fans.
A lot of Røkkr fans.
Yeah,
100%. We got the LAG fans in attendance as well, trying to get them fired up. Now Røkkr, see if they can bring it back. MajorManiak looking to get involved.
Well, as I say, nobody watches the cross. This is a 4-man towards B from Guerrillas, and 2 players just go right through top middle over towards his mailroom side. Look at where attach is. They're behind enemy lines already. 20 seconds in the round, and that was clean. Nobody watched the cross. Nobody watching the middle of the map, and they just found the openings.
Yeah, were they on offense?
I don't know, maybe trying to throw a hard counter.
No, I know.
Guerrillas or what, but they weren't watching anything.
They just hit it. I mean, you just saw the swarm on the minimap. That round seemed to be done before it started, but that's basically a clean. Defense out of both teams, just beautifully done as the guys talking through it. And man, I'd love to hear their comms even when they're not fired up. I mean, some of the listenings we have when they, you know, that Major 5 run, which just the belief they have in each other is truly something special. But how can anyone get something going offensively as they're starting to work their way towards A?
Well, I think they're going through secret. Standy's able to find the route. Standy has found a route. He's going to be the one that's going to make the play. Priestahh does get taken down. Because I think Huke and Slasher get aggressive, but what can Standy find? Well, I think the timings are going to go against him just horribly.
Maybe not, maybe not.
Maybe not. Does find one to bring it back to a 3 versus 3.
So his stun I don't think hit, but well, he'll take one in kind, so he's got more people here to deal with. Attach, I believe, still sniper in hand, kind of looking down this A lane. And he'll push forward to get the bomb. Slasher will the nade hit. It's the peak, a perfect timing there from Standy. Now able to get 2. That's going to be 4 in a row. Who's going to be next up to bat? Looking for the trade, just not able to do it as Asim will get out with his life. And what a menace he was over towards that B site yesterday. But it's Standy now with 3. Standy working on the ace in the 2 versus 1. Can he find the 4th and final kill? He sure as hell can. Standy puts them all down.
It went from, I thought Sandy's gonna get the best timing to the worst timing to, you know what, he's got it figured out. He's just taking gunfights one after another, finds that ace. They throw a little bit of a different look there. It was a 2-2 split. You had a couple of players, I think, just throwing nades over towards B, giving the Guerrillas some information. And off of that, you did get aggression from Huke and Slasher through A. It's just that's not where Standy was. So he was able to sneak on through, makes the plays.
He's on, what, 6 in a row, so. Moving his way towards some added utility, but Slasher's POV for now, just over that mid cross.
Somebody watch mid this time. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that'll help. That'll help. That's gunless. Now with the pick, is a Swarm not going to quite be there. The kill will come through on that B bomb site. Now they'll try to work the plant down behind it, and it's Standy just trying desperately to find a freebie, find an opening. But now you can see that setup as Guerrillas took to wrap deep, find their spots.
Yeah, they find that first kill on a Major, and there's no shots that coming down the cross, so they get the bomb down, and you see Huke and Slasher immediately back on up. They know where the push is coming from. It's through this flank towards the warehouse side.
Huke went more like puke. I did not like that, no. It gets a little awkward at close range. You're looking down, maybe you lose a little aim assist.
All right, we're doing 2v2.
Yes!
2-on-1. Nice, teammates got him. We're good.
We're fine. We're fine.
Forget about it. It didn't happen.
Take a sip of water.
Somebody delete the VOD. Nobody tweet that out. Don't do it. We've all been there before.
Yeah.
It even happens to pros. It's okay, guys. It's okay.
Those are always, honestly, I don't know what it is.
He's just sitting there like,
Yeah.
Did anybody see that? No. All right, good. All right, we're chilling.
Guys, I lost the fight. No, but dude,
Yeah,
for some
beat-
reason,
beat
when it's
it.
like close range, I'm looking down. Like, that is where I get screwed up all the time. I don't know what it is.
He got pre-fired, dude. So lucky.
Oh, yeah, no.
That's tough.
Hacker? Oh, okay. Round 5. This Standy's crazy stretch will come to an end, but still to his POV as he's sitting at 6-2, and he's trying to get nasty. Inside the A-point, just looking for an opening on Slasher, and now to work the plant down, but peekaboo. Up with the hop comes Slasher, able to pick him off the site, but the trade is through, and the advantage will go their way. Now to a 3v2 for Røkkr, bomb in hand to MajorManiak.
And this is where this is where they find success over towards A. Happened last offense. And I mean, listen, we saw it yesterday. We know Slasher and Huke are going to be in the area. They're going to be playing sort of duo setup on the outside, but Steam busts on through, able to make this a 1v2 for Gunless.
And he had his fair share of moments yesterday on this map when he needed the clutch. When he needed the snap, it was there. The first, he gets behind a bit of cover. Attaches just peek in. He's able to hit the shots. The reach out comes in. They close out the round, but I wasn't counting Gunless out.
Well, I think Priestahh's probably telling him, I hit a bullet on him, right? Like, he's weak, dude. Yeah. Priestahh snapped on a Gunless. That kill got a little bit scary, but Attache just has the trade, has the positioning.
You know, the shaker is contagious.
Yeah, no, it is, dude. It certainly can be.
You've probably been in a spot where you're watching a teammate, they get like 180, you're like, oh, God, don't rub off.
It's all good, man. You got an extra round. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
The Røkkr back in front. And Priestahh right back to it. There's the first blood. What a map one he had. But it seemed he's hammering through doors. They're hammering right back at him. Priestahh just keeps on sending it. And it's Huke quickly, last alive. And the aggression out of Røkkr has just caught them off guard at times, but not going to be 3 in the round for Priestahh. But a fast trade is in. And that's what you expect from Minnesota. I tried. That wasn't very good. I'm sorry.
It wasn't horrible.
Yeah, Chance did it better than the desk, though.
But Asim was like doing globetrotter stuff inside of that A site, dude. He was spinning and circling. But over towards A, it's where Minnesota have dominated. But it starts with that first blood. Priestahh on the Slasher who's watching that cross, and just a beam that comes in gives them that man advantage. And then they just kind of, they go 2 send up towards the middle, towards P5, and they just kind of collapse onto A.
3 in a row now for Attach. Snipe put away for now, auto in hand. Trying to get numbers on the cross.
This is the adjustment, right?
Here, but Asim, who has made a home kind of around that side, not there.
Yeah, I mean, Guerrillas basically show 3 towards A off that cross. Now they do bounce back. You see Huke and Asim inside mail already. That is a very fast transition. You do have Priestahh watching the flank, but he has no idea. Right now, his position's obsolete, so he's going for a wide flank. Watch that number 5 to see what plays he's able to make. But here comes the collapse from Guerrillas. The retake Gunless is going to find that first blood.
I thought he got bad timing, like just removing the ADS for a moment, but the snap is right back in. Little bunny hop and work from his seam. You're not out of this yet. The help comes in. Huke is there. Everybody getting involved for Guerrillas, and now it's on Priestahh.
That's
12 seconds left.
That's diffused.
And it's diffused. Not going to be able to get back and make a play, and that's a hell of a retake.
I think Priestah's got to be quicker there. That's a tough one. He's not seeing much in the middle of the map. I know he's watching the flank. You're not seeing anything. To me, you know then the push is probably through middle and mail because his team does it all the time. So he has to go and try to help those guys that are pushing towards warehouse from Guerrillas, but it does not happen. Just a little too slow. He's out on an island.
They get the retake. They bring it back, and that's where, like, remember, that's where Røkkr's been so good. Like, they get bombs planted on offense. They've been clinical, really, with that. So really good stuff from Guerrillas in a massive round. I mean, you don't want to be down 5-2, obviously. That goes the other way.
Okay, so you have 2 playing outer from Guerrillas and 2 play to inner. And well, Gunless is going to get
Gunless
caught off guard.
Oh, what were you doing?
Like, guys, how'd they get there?
Yeah.
Now there's 2 players behind. They're just going to plan at A. I mean, Slasher's just kind of left all alone train side, and Huke has made his way into fire.
This minimap just looks like odd at the moment, but if you're Huke, you do find one to bring it even for a moment, but it won't last long as the quality trades in from Røkkr yet again. Now all the pressure to a Seaman Slasher, and they're just swarming this bomb. If you're Slasher, kind of like, you gotta get there. You gotta get there. Well, especially now.
Yeah, they're already on it. He might have an angle for it. He might have an angle right here. Oh! Wait, did he go through?
I did. Oh!
I mean, it would have been.
Might not have mattered.
Yeah. It might not have mattered, but it was set up for him. But, you know, that's just kind of what happens some of these times when one lane is kind of split into 2 or 3, right, with the doorways and the different pathways. And, yeah, Gunless is thinking, okay, my teammates are A side, like, I'm good from that way. But that doesn't happen. They just push through train, able to find that first blood, and then they, again, collapse. It was similar to what we saw in that previous round.
That's depending on, you know, what game and developer we have. Sometimes it's like, it is, I guess, yeah, it's 3 lane, but some of the 1 lanes feel like 5. It's just depending on how the buildings and the doorways work. It can be nuts. And well, the reason these guys are pros, they can adapt every single year.
Standy's just going right through the middle of the map.
Send it!
What is this? He's gonna find the first blood. Yeah, my 2-2 split, and Gunless is just looking at the cross towards B, trying to get into that position. Huke's gonna answer back to turn this into a 3-on-3.
It was a frustrating sequence if you're Gunless, just these past couple of deaths, right?
Sure are. Like, guys, what are we watching?
Are we watching anything at all? It is Gunless. But a chance to take a 2-0 edge right now if you're Røkkr. If they can take the 2v2, now down to a 2v1. It's all on Huke to keep it going. That should be a first, but it's not there. He's able to get the headshot. Now, can he get out of this life? Not going to happen. Once again, the trades ring true for Røkkr, and they'll go up 2-0.
And this is where it just gets a little bit worrisome for Guerrillas because you have been such a strong hardpoint team. And, well, on the opposite side, Røkkr have been so good at search and destroy. So, I mean, this is kind of a one-sided battle right now when you're not able to win that first map. But Standy, we talked about him and the plays he's able to make in search and destroy. He does it here again with 10 kills.
Yeah, I mean, 4 come in the 1 round, obviously, where he just takes over.
He's got 4 first bloods. I mean, you
dominates
from attach, so.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the first bloods, you're really just dominating it there. But we're going to take a look at the scuff play of the game. It's going to be Standy's ace, obviously. I mean, yesterday, what we had the seam ace on Berlin. Now it's going to be Standy, just a 1-man wrecking ball.
Yeah, no, I actually love this second chow. Like, he knows Slasher is in this position, and just a slide right into this pillar at the statue side takes the gunfight. Just the confidence that he's playing with in search. This is what you want to see. Just that first shoulder, and then bang, takes that gunfight. A great position from him. There's the second. A seam somehow gets through the window. Able to take down his...
Window, stairs, secret door.
That's what it is, the secret. That's what everybody calls it. Finds the third. And knows he's got to work towards that bomb, finds the ace, gets fired up.
And yeah, I mean, they were very passionate in the hardpoint comms, obviously, and I'm sure a lot of that was ringing true throughout the course of the game too. Just with Standy making plays, getting on his feet, firing up the boys. But you see some of the social reaction. Standy is popping off, and now you've got a convincing 2-0 edge. And I guess you got to be thinking, at this point, we've guaranteed ourselves a map 5. Like, even if we were to lose control in our point, like, we get to a search, we feel more confident in Search, 100% versus Guerrillas. You know, they might have closed this out in 3, but you got to game 5 no matter what.
Yeah, I think maybe the one good thing is that Minnesota Røkkr, we've talked really about their respawn struggles. They're 1-4 in control, right? It hasn't been fantastic for Guerrillas. We saw a great Gavutu, you know, sort of clutch in that round 4 yesterday against London. Can they keep that momentum going?
We'll see if they can keep it going. The boys have been fired up. Røkkr in complete and utter control of this series as they look to move on in the losers bracket. We come back with control action after this quick break.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
Let's keep it rocking. Røkkr up 2-0, looking to end things here. Move on with a great start. I mean, you haven't won a map 1. You get that done. You get some flashy moments in the search and destroy. The trades are on point. The boys are fired up. And on the other side, if you're Guerrillas, you are up against it right now. This is where, if you're gonna be better on land, you got these veterans, you better muster up something.
You still going? Take a deep breath.
Yeah, I ran. The bathroom is so far.
You gotta go up three flights of stairs. It's more exercise you've done in 3 months.
The stairs, yeah, no, I don't use stairs ever.
Yeah, just deep breath, deep breath.
I don't go outside ever.
You gotta do what like Pants does on the main stage. That's pretty much what you sound like, but you can see here at least with Guerrillas.
I tried to be fast. I tried.
I know. Woo. Oh, that was quick, but yeah, you can see Guerrillas 2-2 on this map. We saw them win it yesterday. And well, for Minnesota Røkkr, they normally play Tuscan, but they've only played this one time. They usually veto it 0-1 on this map. But you can see there, Slasher, you know how good he can be. Really struggling here, 19-29. And I guess that surprised me because we're playing 2 Gavutus, or well, you start off with that Gavutu. I mean, you would expect him to have a good performance there.
We're getting a bit of a restart here. We're gonna hop into map 3 as quick as we can, but you know, I was speaking about people need to step it up, especially the vets, and I think that is Slasher. Like, you know, he has been vocal, very vocal with frustrations over the past couple of years when it's been online play. I mean, he's been one of the more vocal. He's come back on many lands. He has been lights out in many situations. Struggling a little bit so far. Like, this is, you got to kick it up a notch. It's do or die time. You have to.
Well, and that's what we were saying yesterday with London, like with their matchup against London was, you know, they're starting in the winner's bracket, right? So maybe that can give them some momentum. You know, at least they will have that second life, that second chance. But so far, not looking too well.
All right, we're gonna take a look at some of the feedback we saw on social media. Maybe okay, no, I have not done anything different with my hair. I didn't shave today though, so it's a little. See, it's a little nasty.
You got some rays coming in, dude. Look at this little thing, dude. You're getting it. I like it, dude. You got some salt and pepper up in there.
37 years old now.
You're
getting up there, man.
You are getting up.
One day I'm gonna hit this flight of steps and just fall. That's it.
Honestly, again, if you showed a picture of yourself like 4 or 5 years ago with your whatever
I look
you had
kind
on
of
top
jacked
of you.
though, right? Look at this.
No, you don't. I mean, I guess the camera's making you all right.
You put me and Hulk next to each other. Is there anything different other than the green?
A little bit.
Okay, all right. Thanks, Joe. Joe, you're really helping.
He's got a great head of
You guys
hair.
made comments about my shirt today, so I guess that's a start.
Yeah, well, that's good, yeah.
It looked like a 70s something yesterday.
But we all know what you were thinking.
Yeah! We're getting ready to load back in. Let's keep it going, Texas. We hope you're having a great time. We've got a lot of incredible matches today. Oh, I'm feeling good. I've seen more sun and burn more calories these past couple days. I think I run a marathon. I can run through a brick wall.
You just struggle running up.
I can run through a Gavutu ship.
That's a scary
Who put that hole in there? Me. I'm out of my mind. So is this game.
That's why we love you, yeah?
Yeah. Just about to get started. Apologies for the delay getting into the map 3, but hopefully it holds something special. Perhaps the comeback story for Guerrillas, or you come in, it's calm, it's clean, you handle business if you're Røkkr, and you continue to roll on to see what kind of run you can make. But some pressure on Slasher now. Litigoat, if you're gonna do it, now is the time. Lock it in.
All right, I was getting there, but I mean, yeah, 4 dead right off the start. Priestahh with that MP, 40 off spawn, almost catches Slasher. A nice start here for Minnesota, kind of what you want to do. You can already see with Standy's position, you're going to force them. Well, I mean, no longer has that position. Nice nades out of Guerrillas. You're going to force them to kind of have to spread out, go towards that beach side.
Yeah, sometimes the setup looks so good.
Yeah, it's just boom, boom.
Well-placed grenades, it's like a mortar strike is suddenly come through, and you're just getting dropped. Ring around the rows as we go. Huke continues it. His teammates had found 2 before that, and he'll look to capture the zone. Just wants to get safe to the ship. Going to get cut down right before he gets there. Those are some big shots through on the cross, and now we've got, no bit of progress. Just over 30 seconds to go. Asim, though, with a little bit of pre-fire, I thought a chance for the third, but the help comes in on the side of Røkkr, and they continue to hold strong.
Yeah, you've at least paused the clock for a little bit. But I like that from Huke, that last life, right? Just trying to get on to B, trying to just slow things down. We saw that from Zero yesterday. I mean, listen, if you can get into that chip, just kind of play your life, be a nuisance, you pause the clock. It's basically everything that you could ask for over towards B if you get some progress done. But so far, so good for Minnesota. Røkkr, you do have one tick done, but they're not finding a lot of those kills. They have not established that sort of map presence that you're looking for on offense.
Yeah, there's just not a ton of kills all around. You still have 17 lives on Røkkr, 15 on Guerrillas. It'll be a minimal edge, or will it? Now you get in with 1.9 left. You get 3 through, a chance for an extension now. Wrapping all the way around the flank is going to be Standy. He could play spoiler here to any potential added time.
Okay, so this is a situation you and I were talking about right before we came into this event. It's 14-14. Now it no longer is with a second left. Do you just get off of that point? I mean, you're only going to be down 2. I mean, that's not like the worst thing for Guerrillas.
With how it currently works, right?
Right.
Like we know it's going to get back to being objective tick focused, but with the lives now, like, yeah, do you just take that as like a
right?
win? Like,
Yeah,
all right,
even
let's just
right?
post up.
Because what if they get that minute extension, then they get put in a spawn trap and they're down 10 or 11 going into round 2. It could be a much different story.
Yeah, it's just that's probably percentage-wise, I guess, maybe the smarter thing, because it's the only time it's going to punish you is if you come and then get punched in the face and lose a defense. Then it's a very different thing. But if you would have had maybe a chance, a sliver of hope to win the round.
Only being down 2 is a pretty solid offense.
Yeah. I think you'll take that. Everything exploding as, Gunless, just sorry, buddy. Your body's all over Gavutu. A little bit on this ship, a little bit on the 1x-B. But Guerrillas, all the pressure to bring this back. You're in an 0-2 hole. You're in the loser's bracket side of things. You got to step up, rep the base, come through clutch here. Go massive to get the W. Let's get to it. I'll listen in now with Los Angeles Guerrillas.
Top green, absolute top green right now. Sandy, he's
top green. One shot dead. Top green.
One in front green, Sandy. Pretty much green died.
Last guy's Sandy. There's Sandy. I'm hoping right. One shot, bro. I'll help you.
Top out. I have a kill.
Top out on you.
Where are you also?
One more top out in the back.
Top out, Major. You dropped that hole.
Back right on me. Dylan's deep back right.
Deep right?
Yeah.
Yo, he's chasing you, Sandy. Find you.
Do you have all right?
Where? One's clip on me.
He's literally on top of you, Nerdrock.
Don't look at C4 right now.
Yo, Sandy can be beat.
They're getting on right, I think. They're getting on right.
Only one right.
Yo, let's go to mid subs if we can.
One's tall rock again. Go pitch.
Let's go. I didn't send him up beach.
Preston's on spawn somewhere. Back right.
Let's see him gun
I don't see anything. He could be low.
Weak. Got a bullet on him.
There's two.
Alright, beach shank. One beach shank. Pitching ring. Can you come in?
Need it on spawn. They're on it.
He's on it.
It's still beach shank coming. One's on you. Back truck though.
Got him. Hit him.
He's back truck.
We got him. I got my point. Try to work up middle.
One is beach shank. Top ring him, you guys. Top ring him.
See him on the rock. Rock is out.
One shot top ring. Come mid, guys.
Yes. I am as
well.
We got top ring.
I'm with you, Big P.
Top ring. I'm pushing that fast. Top ring dead. One's dead.
One tap. Sandy, their side dead.
No, Taj was here. You said a tap.
Taj was here, yep.
Okay, he could be our side.
Let's see him, bud. Major attack. Got him. No,
Where's the Taj? Where's the Taj?
I don't know. He's Arvin dead.
Tall rock dead.
Got that guy on you.
Can we trap him?
I'm on a 5. I'm on a 5 here.
Yes, we can trap him. We can trap him.
I'm on a 5. I'm lucky P4. Lucky from P4 right now.
I'm needing your top. Deep right. No. One deep god rock. Deep god rock. Help me. One step forward.
I'm top. Yeah, they're all going right.
Deep right.
Help you, Pierce.
Oh, my streaks. There's 2 right. One's deep right beach. Deep right beach. So look like.
It's major. I don't see him deep right.
Pushing up cliff.
You be below me.
That could have got past me too.
Yeah, I'll look below you.
Yeah, I have it. Okay. Trying to.
One guy's top cliff.
They're in their boat.
Where's
major, bro? Their boat.
Absolutely. P4. I'm lucky P4 right now.
I'm leaning back right now. Honestly, I'm just saying.
Major's in that tank right
There's
now.
three. They're just camping for kills.
Well, Joe, you were talking about the need to really call out names and how important that was. I think you got a really good sequence of that.
Yeah, that was great. Honestly, I mean, when you talk about the situation being down 0-2, being down 1 round in this, I mean, that was very clear communication from Los Angeles Guerrillas. Maybe that was something they talked about in the break. We didn't hear them in map 1, but they had a couple of, mistakes. But for the most part, they've settled things down to life advantage, so that pretty much has the game tied in terms of that stat.
I did like one thing from Major. Sometimes teams, you want to cheat, you want to get out fast. He goes the whole way deep to that rock, and you kind of heard how frustrating it was for them to deal with. Gunless ends up dropping off of streaks. I think he was able to pick off a seam as well. It's like instead of having to watch kind of one lane, it's like you have that extra cut, right?
Yeah, just taking your time, right, getting into that position.
Exactly. Take your time sometimes. You're not, even though you feel like you're in a rush, the game is fast. Taking the slow route, the long route, it pays off a lot in this game.
Yeah, I mean, 6-6 would be like, man, this guy's just not really playing at a slow pace, but he's only died 6 times. So, I mean, that's kind of what you're looking for. Is I think across everything, it's a 1 life advantage for Guerrillas in terms of who could have that defense for round 5. But we'll try to keep our eyes on that. And now, for LAG. A much better break-off. They lost both break-offs, I think, in clean 4-down situations in back-to-back rounds.
Back over to Major, can't win that one. aBeZy gets the better of it. aBeZy actually gets a second off of that with Priestahh as well. So aBeZy starts to get rolling. That's going to be 4 in a row for him, sitting at 11 and 10, and now starting to work the zone. That'll be the first bit done. Push coming in, hipfire, range drill, will get the headshot behind it and able to dip away with his life. 5 in a row. Looking for number 6. There it is, aBeZy going beast mode right now. The call is in. That's just the shots coming through from top boat, and he's 1 off. That's got to be tough.
Yeah, you had gunless streaks on the last round. Now his streaks, right? They would love those glide bombs, right, to break those B setups, or if they need it on a defensive round. It's just, yeah, that extra utility you would have. But so far, you will take this now. They need that second take towards A. But Huke hitting some nice shots.
Yeah.
Much better than what we saw on that map number 2.
Yeah, as much as I was giving him a hard time, he is one of the more raw and naturally talented players you're ever going to see. As you're watching a bit of flash and magic right now, is back to work at 13 and 11. Now close to getting this time extension. There's the second bit of work. Is the help there as all the fights are going around green. His teammates dropping all over the place. Is going to bring the pressure to him, and after the first chow is good, he falls with Slasher. Still here trying to recenter desperately, but next thing you know, you got 2 in front of you, under 30 seconds to go, and still need to finish A if you're going to try to, and you see that killing spree pop up for attach.
Yeah, I think that's really frustrating, though, too, because Gunless and aBeZy were in a great position watching the front cross from green into ship. You had, I think, Gunless that was pushed up all the way towards the outside where P5 is. You had one player in the middle of the tank, I think that was aBeZy, and you think they would have those crosses, but that does not happen. They still have it's equal in lives in, well, 0.1 seconds. Maybe going to extend this a little bit is aBeZy.
Not anymore. Not anymore, and maybe, as you said, that could end up hurting you, but you hold again. The battle of the defenses and glorified TDM continues.
This isn't what we had yesterday. Yesterday was very exciting.
No, I know. I mean, that's probably one of the more thrilling controls all year, just with how it played out. I mean, that first round just still, that'd be the fastest offensive round on Gavuto. Like, that doesn't happen. Absolute insanity. And now this is more what you expected. A battle of attrition. Just chipping away, trying to keep the lives edge for a round 5. Luck and Røkkr get rolling early. A Slasher who has struggled, though, on the Guerrilla side, he's still having a rough one, like at 8 and 14. That matters when it's the current rule set for control.
Yeah, 100%. Definitely does. And again, with the maps that they played, Gavuto and Berlin, this is where you want to see sort of one of your main ARs really popping off. As well, who is? Attaches popping off on an 8 streak. He has those streaks as well, has that glide bomb to use. They are 1 round away from moving on to losers round 2. A nice nade from Standy, going to give him some help.
Yeah, you got to think maybe these streaks can be crucial, and if you get into a spot trap, you get into a bad spot where the life edge
what they're doing, right?
Start to dwindle.
You've had Major just kind of sneak on through. I don't know if they've noticed yet that there's someone on. Maybe Slasher. Okay, it looks like he's going to have that first one-on-one. With his position as attach continues. But there we go. But the clock still has paused. Major, though, is going to get found out.
And you win it on both fronts, kind of, right? You still have one up mid. That'll be Standy, but you're able to clear both sides. But 2 parts of A done, 1 at B. They want to work it back towards beach side. That's going to be Standy once again trying to push through for some kind of opening. And he's actually flanked all the way through. So Huke, unfortunately, thinks he's in a great spot at ring. That's not going to be the case. Gunless through the stun is at least able to take down 1. Now 40 to go. You're up, what, 3 in the lives department. You've got the streaks on attach. Standy is just going to find a triple before aBeZy's finally able to take him out. And that's going to be everybody basically back to spawn. Now, so what do you want to do if you're Røkkr?
Well, it looks like they're going to get done with A. They're going to have some time to work with. Now, can they just starve them out lives-wise? A minute 30. You have Priestahh in a great position.
Okay.
He's on a spree here over here. You still have that glide bomb on attach if they need it. aBeZy does go on the flank. There's the glide that comes on in. You have Standy working his way on up. Standy able to find 1. Still, though, aBeZy at ring control. I'm going to pause the clock for now. Only 11 lives remaining. Make it 10. That headshot comes through.
That's a win and a half. Do you go for the jugular here? They're trying to choke him out and get the W, but Slasher finally starting to come alive. Just his 10th kill, but those 2 ones cleared for a second. But it's Priestahh through on the backside who's found an opening. His 24th kill will be a big one to turn heads now as they try to fan out across the map. Under a minute to work with, the rest of the team working out. What can Priestahh do to help his teammates get out of this? And you know, he's thinking about the people coming up off of spawn, but his teammates not gonna get any kills, and what a wipe that is. That is 4 down and brings you back within 3 lives if you're Guerrillas.
Yeah, it just felt like he didn't know that they were all out. I mean, maybe you're thinking
he was waiting for a spawner or something, right?
For someone, maybe to just play a deep corner, run into your pre-aim. You would have loved for Priestahh maybe to just get onto that B point and pause the clock, because now the key is there's 25 seconds left. You had a chance to put this one away with the life advantage. But you can see Røkkr, they have completely slowed down. They have a 4-kill life lead.
Yeah, they're in a good position life-wise. They should be all right, but they went for it. They used the streak. They try to close it out. And we'll see who it ends up being for the round 5, unless they can get on in the next couple of seconds. But Huke and Asim want no part of that as they start soaring forward. We get to a round 5. Now, listen, not the exact scenario, but let's say I expect it's probably Guerrillas offense. I thought they were done the round 4 yesterday versus Ravens. They pull up some kind of miracle. You know, Slasher, I think it's 2. It's Huke making crazy plays around the boat at beachside. They did it once. We know they're capable of it. Can they do it once more? Because, well, their tournament hopes depend on it.
Well, I think the key here is that Minnesota has not made it clean towards A, right? Like, they've always kept it messy. They've regained ship control. That's going to be the key for me here. Can they have a better start here, Guerrillas? Can you really just pause that time, pause the clock, get some progress done, and then move over towards B? But it's a 1-for-1 trade. It's attached, you know, we've all been there. Just blows up to that barrel. A nade does hit, so you have a 3-on-3 in the middle of the map.
The Røkkr chance start as they look to close this out and move on. They'd set up for a match later this evening. If they can get the win, and look at that number 5 in Priestahh already doing dances around the spawn of Guerrillas. How long can he be an issue? I think he's about to flank Gunless as well. He's trying to get the angle. He's able to finish it there. The shots ring true. Finally, they'll drop him, but second by second, time dwindling. They're finally able to get the pause, but only 40 or so to go.
And this is what I mean. I mean, Standy and Priestahh both running subs. We don't often see that here. But on defense, if they can get Mixy over towards ship, over towards ringside, this is where they could just be so difficult for Guerrillas to deal with. You love this out of Standy, just throwing the shoulders, getting the info, making sure he has the advantage in the gunfights.
Now he's on a 5 streak. That didn't last long. I apologize, Standy. That's on me. Attached with a tough gunfight top ship. He'll go to the utility of the lethal to try and pick it up. 30 seconds left, but on the point are Guerrillas just looking for that crucial extension. It was Priestahh the first time trying to leak towards the spawn. This time it's MajorManiak trying to maybe set up a pinch. Can he win his one? Not able to do it. It's Asim taking that fight topside. And now as he gets the B, that's a big one-on-one win. Now you can split this a little bit. Can you clutch up on either side of it? You can't get smoked, and it's Priestahh with 2. They might be in trouble, but next thing you know, it's only gonna be Asim there. You don't finish the A point, and time really becoming a hurdle.
And again, in one life it's Priestahh, in another it's Standy. They've done such a good job over towards A, not making this clean. Look, everybody's worrying about them because they're running that MP40. They continue to find kills, pick after pick. They finally deal with it, but guess what? When that happens, there's another one. Standy's punching you in the face.
Ah, yeah, coming in with the Mayweather, just laying them out. Finds a second after that, and just 10 seconds to go, and it's a hot 3-0 for Røkkr. Standy standing tall right now, looking to eclipse the 30 kill mark. He has been a monster throughout, and Røkkr get it done clean. It's a convincing 3-0.
And I think Røkkr fans are happy to see that because, I mean, they have not seen a 3-0 win. Usually it's a deep series, a map 5. They finally get that map 1 win. And, I mean, they look good on these Gavutus, right? We talked about the versatility of this team, and I think throughout this series, you saw it. You saw how strong this lane can be. You have a bunch of players who can run autos. I mean, sometimes City was running it. Sometimes Priestahh was running it. But I mean, they look good in these respawns.
Yeah, and I think this is one where maybe if we think pacing might be an issue for Røkkr, this isn't the team that's going to punish that. We'll see as we get deeper into it. Yeah, I don't think as much as like I don't know, your FaZe
if they're playing at like a crazy level. Yeah, I definitely could. But yeah,
yeah, but well, you watched London versus Pros yesterday. There was a different pace to that, 100%. So it's a it's a great win. There's no way around it. Røkkr, if you had question marks, if you were a fan and you were a bit worried about it, which I think was safe, even though the losses were quote-unquote good losses, yeah, 3-0, it's got to feel fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, they just haven't looked this good throughout the year.
Yeah.
A lot of question marks and maybe some answers finally, or some questions finally answered. Maybe there's still some question marks. I mean, they got to go on a deeper run, but it's a good start.
Yeah, I think Guerrillas, you know, even though they're maybe not a top team right now, they are a threat. They've got a lot of huge pieces. Like, they made them look pretty mediocre. Like, they handled that series.
I mean, this is a team that almost beat London yesterday in that winners round 1.
Yeah,
so, yeah, 100%. But I think the thing for Guerrillas really played them throughout this week was that hard point. Went 0-3 here at Major 1, where they were 7-2 throughout the qualifiers.
And we kind of chatted yesterday about like whether it was London or Guerrillas that won. Like, if you're a team like Ravens and like you win a big game 5 with a lot of young players, that could propel you kind of forward. But I kind of feel like it's different with Røkkr. Like, I feel like a clean 3-0 is what gets you going because you've won it. You've won big tournaments. You've seen it all. You've had your clutches. Like, a clean win might be big for them.
Yeah, they want the pressure, and I think they're finally just happy that it's not one of those crazy. Sometimes it's those crazy game 5s that's like, all right, here we go. Now we're finally in our tournament form, but this is a much better look for them.
Yeah, I just like what you saw out of a lot of the players. Just felt like when someone needed to get that trade, someone needed to step up and go on that spree, someone had to make a huge play, someone was getting it done, and it just started. I loved the comms just from the get-go. It was brilliant stuff. The passion was there. Røkkr are rolling. They get the 3-0, and aBeZy, guys, break it down. What do you think?
With a 3-0 victory with Minnesota leading the way over Los Angeles Guerrillas, the only thing LA was beating was their chest, and that was looking pretty bad. Double eliminated, and the first team eliminated here at the Major 1. That was insane. Chance, we got to say this, though. Minnesota is looking hot, man.
I don't know if I would actually go that far.
Okay.
I mean, like, to me, that was very much LAG. It seemed uninspired. It felt flat, like Slasher just going like nearly double neg on Gavutu of all maps. Like, it just felt so bad in that category. So, like, yes, Røkkr looked good, took care of business, won the map 1, but I think it's more of LAG just not showing up.
But to that point, this was an LAG favored map veto. LAG favors Gavutu hardpoint. They get smoked out. It's a toss-up with the Berlin. They're 3-2 in map count. They lose that, and they're 0-2 in Tuscan control. So Gavutu was their only chance, and Røkkr is 1-4 in control. Now 2-4 that they've taken it in the series 3-0 fashion. So yeah, LAG was flat, but they had all the map vetoes in their favor.
You're right. And Nameless, I think it all started off with the first map. And this was a battle between who could actually win the first map of the series.
Yeah, you know, like I said when I was talking to MajorManiak, he's like, we got to win map 1. And man, they look fantastic on that map 1. These guys were breaking hills. There were multiple different times where, you know, even on that P5 where they were able to stop LAG from getting time. Attach popped a crazy 3-piece. There was just huge plays across the board for these guys. But the most important thing for the Minnesota Røkkr was that Priestahh turned up with the AR. Him and MajorManiak completely shut down Slasher throughout that entire series, and they dictated the pace of play. It was beautiful.
Right, and you know, enough of us here on the desk. Let's go ahead and send it over to the main stage where Miles is with Attach for the Game Fuel post-victory spotlight interview.
Thank you very much, guys. I am joined by Attach. You've done it, man. Map 1 in the books, a 3-0. You're back, baby. How you feeling?
It feels amazing. I think we were 0-5 in map 1s, but now we won the first one that we played on LAN, well, during the real season. But shout out to all the Røkkr supporters out here going crazy already. We got a huge ovation when we walked on stage. Hopefully we keep the run up for you guys. Thank you so much.
Hey, what clicked? Because like the run up to to the major, it was a little shaky here and there. There was a lot of doubts coming into this one. In your mind, obviously the vibes are through the roof right now, but what was it that really clicked in game for you guys?
Our communication, our teamwork, like literally the basic things that you work on every single day that we couldn't get working. It just felt like everything was perfect there. We knew what we needed to do. We knew where we needed to pick up, hold a hard point, break a hard point, make a crazy play in SND. It just felt good. I mean, the team is playing really well right now.
So up next, you are waiting obviously for the result of this one, but you've got to feel great. First match in, 3-0. Where do you go from here?
I mean, it's one match at a time. I told the team earlier this week, I was like, yo, let's go try and make history. First team in the CDL to win from winners or losers round 1. So, I mean, that's the challenge this weekend. But one match at a time, one gunfight at a time. Let's go have some fun.
Dash, you've been blessed on this stage before. We'll see if you can do it again. Congratulations. This is our Game Fuel Victory Spotlight. aBeZy, take it away.
I'm loving the words coming from him. And Nameless, that's a true competitor. And looking at his stats so far this event, he popped off and was going +20.
That's what you need out of Attach, man. We haven't seen Attach play like that in a long, long time as well. I mean, he's a guy he sneaks by, gets a one event win a year, and he's just that guy, man. He's extremely clutch. You can see right here, this is what he's truly capable of, especially when you get on some of those bigger maps when he can really be annoying, be a nuisance, and pull that AR out at times. He can just take over games. So I really love what I saw out of him. I expect him to continue that going forward because they're going to need it if they're going to win a championship, like he said in that interview.
And it's like what? I mean, pretty unreal stats, like as high as a KD is going to get for an individual series. 80% of the kills you're not getting traded. So like Røkkr actually absolutely showed up for the 3-0. Again, for me though, it just felt like LAG wasn't there at all. They were allowed to do whatever they want. And even heard in the interview, right? Like all the little things they work on, the fundamentals, the comms, it just like came naturally because there was no pressure put on them. So I don't know how I feel about LAG going forward, but obviously Røkkr, I also appreciated Attach saying, hey man, the first team to win coming from losers, they're trying to make that run.
I like that. Now, speaking of grinding and running through the losers bracket, this month is going to be a grind in March because we actually have Major 2 right around the corner. And if you think this event is showing off good events, you're definitely going to want to check this one out. It's going to take place the 31st, and it will end on the 4th. And make sure you get it. And the good part about all of this is that for a 4-day pass, the ticket starts at just $70. And by the way, Nameless, this is the first Call of Duty event in the Midwest before the pandemic. I know the fans are going to be happy out there.
Bro, it's going to be lit. The last day is my birthday. I'm going to be turned up there on Sunday, bro. I can't wait for that one, man. You know, Majors are always a good time. We're here. It's only Friday. We're having a blast, one match in. It's going to get epic.
I mean, think about it, though. After Minnesota, we're going to Toronto. We got New York. This is going to be a banging year, aBeZy.
Absolutely. I'm excited to go to Minnesota. Have you seen all the watch parties they have up there? They are growing a giant fan base, trying to get up there with the amount of support that they have. So that's going to be a banging event.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're just getting this year started and also this event. Remember, this is just day 2 on what we just saw. Minnesota made a statement with the 3-0 win, sending the Los Angeles Guerrillas home. But coming up next, we're going to have a coast-to-coast battle. The Los Angeles Thieves will face off against the New York Subliners, and the storylines are going to be amazing with that one. We'll see you guys soon to continue on with some more CDL action.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Zenny Gaming. Armor your eyes with Block's gaming glasses starting at $24 by visiting zenny.com/CDL.
Upgrade your game with a Scump, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
Mindset for this year. Definitely off.
Fuck them all, us against the world. That's how it's gonna be, and that's what's gonna get us to win.
I'm pretty good now.
Pretty good.
Dude! Oh my God.
That part of me that drives me to not fail.
So you're one-shotting your talent.
Failure's not an option. Like, I have to succeed.
No. Nice. Let's go. Whether we succeed or fail, we're going for it. This year's like refreshing as hell.
With veterans on both sides of the table and just an overall presence when it comes to championships. I mean, the names carry weight here, definitely. But here on the desk, we're gonna break it all down. Of course, my name is Velly. We got Merc right here. We got aLLeY. We got Nameless and Merc. When it comes to just the superstar power, when it comes to the names on both sides right now, Kenny, Crimsix, Clayster, this is bound to be a good game.
Well, I mean, maybe. I think we would expect that at the beginning of the year, right? But, you know, NYSL, they haven't really shown the strength that we've expected out of these guys. I mean, these two guys, we talk about Crim and Clay, two of the best players of all time, right? Two of the winningest players of all time. They've been through all the trials and tribulations. This is just another one. They have to get it figured out. They're hard workers. It's a long year, but you saw it there. It can be frustrating.
And I'm happy you brought that up because legacies are definitely affected in the loser side of the bracket, right? And Nameless, I mean, talking about the no pressure content that we've been seeing all year long from New York Subliners, team changes, you know, struggle moments. This team, I mean, they really need a big win right now.
They absolutely need a big win. I mean, they need to revamp their entire gameplay. Their hardpoint was absolutely terrible. I mean, 0-9, that is something I never would have expected on a team of Crim and Clan. I mean, recently when they won a world championship together, they tried to recreate that, you know, by picking up 2 young SMGs, and Hydra's been fantastic. Neptune's starting off a little bit rocky. So you go and you bring in Royalties, sort of familiar territory for these guys, a person that they've competed against for a while. They tried to bring in somebody with better communication, and it just hasn't translated towards wins. Like, he has the same exact stat line that we saw Neptune have. So they really need to pick it up. It's a team issue. But as for the game fuel keys to victory for the New York Subliners, you need more slaying versus the Thieves. I mean, point blank, period. These guys have not been slaying. So you need Clay to pick it up. He's been underperforming. You need either Royalty or Crim as well to start going off in these respawns and then win a hardpoint. HP records across this season. NYSL is 0-9 and LA Thieves is 10-2. And maps 1-4 for the hardpoint. Both those maps that got through in the vetoes, LA Thieves have never lost, right? So it's going to be very difficult, and then hold the line. Thieves' hardpoint break percentage is 2nd in the league. They know what they're doing. The communication is there. The breaks are.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough challenge right now, Joe, for the simple fact that when it comes to hardpoint and just weaknesses that NYSL has, looks like Thieves are smiling on the other side of the table.
I mean, they should be. I think for NYSL, honestly, for me, like, it's almost like they have to win the searches. You have to extend this series. You get this to a Game 5 somehow. So I'm looking at the control, obviously. And then Game 5, with the people that they have on their roster, you're hoping for the vets to step up. There's one weakness for LA Thieves. They've shown it all year. It's S&D, right? So, I mean, if you can get to that Game 5 for NYSL, maybe there's there's some hope.
Little silver lining right there. We're hoping, sure, lead. But aLLeY, when it comes to the game field keys of victory, the Thieves, even though we know they could have won yesterday, they found themselves in the loser side of the bracket. What do they need to do to stay alive?
You know what, Velly, there are some incredible stats on the board right now, but it's just summarizing it up in 2 things. Fix S&D and keep doing what you're doing, because your hardpoint is looking lights out for this LA Thieves squad, and I'm really just looking at those first blood conversions. They haven't been slacking on the aggression, but they're really struggling to capitalize when they know they're up a man. They need to make the decisive gameplay and just push right in. You have the aggression in Kenny. You have the follow-up in Envoy. They're capable of doing it. Hopefully we see it in this series, but again, it's a tough one. NYSL definitely got the lower end of the stick when they are 0-9 in hardpoint, going against the best hardpoint team possibly in the league.
Right, and also we have Envoy's parents in the crowd. I thought I saw Momvoy yesterday, matter of fact, and there was a lot of support. We actually have some tweets. Let's go ahead and take a look right now.
Cookies.
The love and support.
They look great too.
I'm loving it, Nameless.
Yeah, she made them some cookies. I saw Mud Dog tweeted out this morning. They're all designed with LA Thieves on it. Like, these guys are ready to go. We talk about LA Thieves. You know, I looked into their team room. They were vibing, dude. Like, that loss, I don't even think they went over the VOD, but they know that they're ready to go, right? I don't think it affected them mentally that much. So I'm excited to see how they bounce back here versus New York team.
I hope so. OpTic has, crowd support, and, Thieves have parental support. So we
we get some love from the crowd for the parents support?
Exactly.
I've seen a lot of parents from Seattle Search. I've seen Mack Melt's parents. I've seen now Dad and Mom Envoy.
Right.
They're all out here cheering for a man against the crowd that is heavily OpTic favored.
Back in the day when I used to play, my mom used to be like, man, you're not going to make nothing off video games. Hey, Mom, how you doing? But it's time for talent pickups right now. Going down the line, I'm going to have to rock with LA Thieves. I feel like there was disappointing effort from Octane yesterday. I wanted to see more from him as well. But I really think that this team has what it takes to win it. Actually, I think that this team can finish top 2, top 3 this event. And going against New York Subliners, I mean, hard point should be theirs. Control should be theirs. But if Drazah and these players show up in S&D, this should be a 3-0. Who you got?
I mean, just what they've shown this year, you have to go LA Thieves. I mean, it's just two different tales. I mean, when you talk about what New York Subliners have done, now, can they come out and potentially upset with the players that they have on the squad with Crim and Clay? Of course, but it just hasn't been that way so far this year.
Not at all. aLLeY, you were talking about map vetoes, and you think that this shifts heavily in one side's favor.
I know everybody's going to agree with me the second they see the layout. It's definitely scary if you're a New York Subliners fan, but it was already scary heading into this 0-9 in hardpoint, and I know we all want to see them succeed. I feel like I'm very heartbreaking seeing this roster struggle as much as they are, but I got to go with LA Thieves taking this series.
Nameless, heavily, a lot of people think LA Thieves are taking this. You look on the side of New York, big names, but what does that even matter if you can't get a dub at the end of the day? Do you think that they can pull out this victory for the first game this major?
I mean, it's definitely a possibility, right? They have fantastic players, but I'm going with LA Thieves. I mean, they've shown us that they've just been fantastic in respawn. The three respawns in this series, they are undefeated on those maps. So it's just New York really trying to take it to them and, you know, play their maps as well. So we'll see if New York can keep the maps close, but I'm fully believing in the LA Thieves right now. I think that they are a championship caliber team. It's just a couple tweaks they need to make in Search and Destroy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time to get things started. But before we do, we're going to head to a short break. And don't forget, this right here is an elimination game. New York versus LA, Thieves versus Subliners. I can't wait, and we'll see you soon.
think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a soar, I'm putting that on the Lord. Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, job that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground and the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live. For the rugged. Been a little too nice to y'all. Now I gotta up price on y'all. Snake eyes on dice for y'all. Shoulders on ice for y'all. A6 all the hate. I won't get involved today. That love's in the ball and eggs. I'm flipping the bars. I'm flipping the.
Octane.
That's what we wanted. That's what I'm talking about. He don't miss. All record deals. Tell him talk to Colin for the quote. All record, off record eyes. Still want to act, not the ghost. For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable.
Hello, Texas. How we doing? It is good to be back, and we've got a doozy as we continue on here for day 2. Coming up on one side, Los Angeles Thieves, the other, NYSL. Let's get into it. Let's keep getting busy. First up, let's meet our squad. Here are your Los Angeles Thieves. Octane, Drazah, Kenny, and Envoy.
With a team with a lineup like that, you know success is going to follow him everywhere. And with J-Cap as a coach, he's going to have this team primed and ready for this big win. To see players like Envoy step up in a big way is exactly what they need to stay alive this event. But Clint, I'm ready to see the boys from New York. Bring them on now.
Here we go. This is a team. They haven't started out hot. They've been struggling. They've got a very, very tough matchup to get it going. Can they get it started hot? Let's take a look now. New York Subliners.
I thought they would like that. All right, here you have it. Their first time this event, and just look at the names. Clayster, Crim6, Royalty, and to me it's going to be all about Hydra. This player right here has superstar potential. You get him going with the SMG, and there's going to be no looking back. Maven, this is going to be one hell of a game.
It's time to get it started. We've got a juggernaut matchup to keep going. Who will take it? Let's get rocking, Texas, up to our casters, Lando and Stunny.
Oh, thank you so much, Clint. You're such a beautiful, bald man. I am super excited to get into this game. It is an elimination match. We're sending 5 teams home. We've already done so with the Guerrillas. Now it's time to find out which group of, a lot of veteran players is going to be going home at top 12. Jay, I know it's terrifying. Also, New York's your team. How you feeling about this one?
Oh, this one's scary, man, because the Thieves obviously coming off that tough loss yesterday versus Toronto, dropping both search and destroys. They definitely went back and just fixed those adjustments, because one thing that Ultra did so well was just slow the game down and just slowly pick apart the Thieves players. You cannot allow that to happen today, because that's basically the only opening for NYSL to get into this series. They're 0-9, like the Death said, in Hardpoint, 0-5, like Minnesota Røkkr were before in that Game 1 Hardpoint. This is a tall task for New York.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the Subliners were looking forward to either playing against the Ultra or the Thieves, but when it comes down to Hardpoint, the decision has been made for them. The worst Hardpoint team facing off against the best. We got Kavutu to start. Bocage search and destroy. Kavutu control. Tuscan Hardpoint, and if it can go the distance, a Berlin search and destroy. Jay, the desk was touching on it. I think it was aLLeY. It was Nameless pointing at it specifically. The map vetoes. Talk to me about the maps that we have got, because it's not looking good for the New York side.
Yeah, so the first 4 maps that we have in this series, LA Thieves have never lost it. On the opposite side for New York, they're a little bit, obviously their hardpoint is atrocious, but their search and destroy, when they get to that Bocage, they're 1-1, courtesy of Hydra dropping 17 in their last match. But this is just, like I said, it all starts with this first map. They have to build some early momentum into this series.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing that I think that we are looking at specifically. Obviously, LA Thieves off the loss versus the Toronto Ultra, but it's really a matter of what New York are we going to see. Is this going to be a team that has utilized that last week and a half, really worked on their hardpoint game, really worked just in general on their overall game we will have to try and find on out. The problem being, though, is that you're facing off against the LA Thieves and on Gavutu. So a lot of that practice may not mean a whole lot when you're facing off against a roster like this on this very map and mode combination. Jay, Kenny has talked about it a number of different times. Don't play us on Gavutu. The Thieves managed to get it for the opening hard point. It's not an easy ask, my friend. It's not an easy ask for the New York Subliners to face off against this team, to try to win their first hardpoint versus what is the best hardpoint team and on their best hardpoint map.
Yeah, it's going to be a difficult task for New York to try to get this done. You have Octane, you have Kenny, who are phenomenal AR players, and then on the opposite side for NYSL, not a single player in hardpoint is over a 1.0 KD. So a map like Gavutu, I'm really looking at the ARs to step up. Placer and Crim need to make a statement here.
Arlington, make some noise. Here we go. A massive game already to kick off day 2 at the OpTic Major. Subliners versus Thieves. It's time to get crazy over at P1. Royalty makes somewhat of a sizable dent. The problem for him is that Thieves, in fact, have won the trade. And on a map like Gavutu specifically, the reason why this Thieves roster is so solid, Jay, is because the amount of players who typically are used to running that AR in the first place. Also, you've got multiple players on the flank as Envoy's handling business. Hydra gets dropped, and once more, the Thieves walk away with the seconds.
This is good work early on from the Thieves to get up about 40 seconds off of this P1 hardpoint. They're pushing out. Envoy's also on a 6 spree. So 1 off of that glide bomb, he can potentially find this kill. And off the rotation, the Thieves are going to be at ship already. You have a couple players from NYSL. Hydra, he was able to take down 1, but NYSL, only player here. Hydra, he has to try to go big off the rotation. He's going to drop, and the Thieves, flawless.
That is a big loss. On top of that, Envoy also has earned that glide bomb, so already thinking about the future. We talked about a number of different hills on Gavutu that are going to be open, perfect for a streak of that nature. Envoy finally gets taken down, and with that, we say goodnight to Drazah. For the first time, it feels like throughout our beginning moments in this Gavutu, New York have got some time to soak on up, and they could use all 30 of this, considering the Thieves have got spawns for next.
Yeah, this is big time from New York. They can get this in their bag. But Hydra finds 2, Crim finds another, and that's going to be a clean 4 dead. As you see, number 6, he's slowly starting to approach up that middle map. Hydra, he's playing for some spawn kills. Unfortunately, not able to win that versus Octane. So the spawns are still going to be in favor of the Thieves. But now it's Placer's turn. He takes down 1. You guys try to play your life here until your teammates get into play.
And we've seen teams hold this from the front previously, but a lot of that's going to come down to that P1 control. I thought Subliners would hold the early seconds, but a nice nade from Kenny shuts down Clay, and with that, the hill will remain vacant for the moment. Subliners, somewhat of a checkpoint, if you will, over at P1, but they've got nobody left to try to challenge the hill. Nice long-range shot there for Hydra to try to open things up. Nades back and forth. A valuable 45 seconds left, and Octane will make his impact felt as he'll grab 2.
Now with 40 seconds left, if you are New York, you have to make sure that you're keeping those spawns for that P4 hardpoint, because that's a money hill on Gavutu. Hydra, he opens up with 1 kill, but unfortunately, he's going to get traded. Kills going back and forth. Octane on the hill doing everything he can with the AR. Yesterday in the series, he had a .8. He's definitely looking to answer back here on a 5 spree, hitting shots like that. 2 off kill streaks.
With the sub? With the sub from range? Octane doing it all, and oh my goodness, that'll be 6 in a row for him. As we talked about it, Envoy's already got a glide bomb for the future. Octane could earn his own as well. But the battle of the rotations is in, and take a look at Envoy already in the back of the spawn. New York have no idea that he's going to be here. Takes down Royalty and will look to try to stay alive for as long as possible. A big 1v1 to take. He gets taken down. But nonetheless, the Thieves already showing why they are such menaces on this map. The AR talent from the front also can beam you from the backside as well. See if Octane can earn that streak. As we said, still sitting on 6 in a row. Gonna get his opportunity. And with that, the Thieves, despite falling, they've got double streaks to work with.
Picks up the glide, but with 30 seconds left, New York, they have held down this P4 for every single second. Now, the only thing is you have to try to get out of this. You do not want to allow the Thieves to continuously trap you in the back of this P4 spawn, as there's so much pressure still here. Crim's able to find 2 on the hill, but here comes Drazah from the back. He takes down 1, Kenny with the assistance. But Hydra, unfortunately, gets taken down, and this is the worst case scenario right now for New York, because now you have to go for the long rotation. You see Royalty in a great position, but the Thieves are already going to be ready for it.
Yeah, it's going to be up to the new guy. It's going to be up to Royalty to try and make sizable dent in the back of the spawn. As you said, a great moment right now for Thieves. Are they going to read that he's back here? Looks as if they will. The shots come in, and LA, aware of his position, they'll take him down. Thieves right now sit in a wonderful position right now at P5. A few of the spawn outs begin to take place, so just like that, the Subliners have now got the spawns in their hand. A current dicey moment right now for the Thieves. Let's step aside and see how the comms sound in what is a very mixy hard point.
He's not weak, Russ. He's not down. I'm looking at it. Nice. 20 seconds. Mid-stairs absolute. He went up top circle. Play this kid. He didn't cross it.
I played it. I have a glide we need. Yo, push outside. Push outside.
I can get that guy. I'm gonna get
Tree rock, guys.
In bottom boat. He's oil, Ken. Oil me. Boat.
Trying to help you.
Our side's clear. Boat.
There's only one I'm playing a top circle. Kremis push on our tree rock.
Go up circle, Ken. Our side, guys. Our side. Top green.
Kremis still our side.
There's that.
Røkkr, you hit once.
I need it.
Rock still.
Top green.
We're gonna have
Hard side cut.
I need it. I'm in circle. Last two circle. One go mid cut, one circle.
There's these P3 guys. Multiple P3 guys. I can't get that guy. On their side.
Mid on me.
Yeah, unhill royalty. Okay. Can you push our side? 25 seconds. This is hard time. This is good time.
Nice. Get shit 3. Last guy.
I'm hitting circle steps.
Last guy's hot though. He's not out.
To the right, our side.
Okay.
One shot. Absolute.
There's circle tank. I can get the guy. Circle tank crimp going up. Oh,
he's up.
Circle stairs. Yeah, I can get the guy.
I'll put him cross for a sec.
Yeah, I have all the crosses.
Our side circle steps. Crimp dead.
Yeah, get Donald. They play through.
Yeah, here. I'm trying to see top.
Do well, yes.
Clean comms across the board there for the LA Thieves. I mean, what, Jay? Just a number of different moments where LAT constantly calling out, when players are making their way through, calling out names, making it known when they're pushing out, when the teammates need to be aware of their own positioning. Thieves with a 40-point advantage now as we come in toward P2, our second set of rotations. It's been the Thieves to start, but can New York begin to find something? Can they start to catch some heat? And it very well could come down to the man that just died on your screen. Royalty gets taken down. And with that, the big spot already left open. Hydra doing everything he can to stay alive toward the bottom side. Trades back and forth, but this time it's Kenny who comes out on top.
20 seconds remaining on this hill. If you are New York, you have the spawns. You want to make sure you get to that P3, but also push out top green. You see number 8 in Clayster trying to make sure he holds down that positioning. As the Thieves will get this remaining 20 seconds. One player is going to be in the contest, and New York actually put a lot of pressure on this. Eventually, with 5 seconds left, Thieves take control, and now this is where New York have to get back into this game. Even though I'm pretty sure Octane still has that glide bomb to work with, that's the only way that they can break on in this hill. As that's going to get called in, you will remove the player from that point. As Clayster drops, but 2 NYSL do pick up kills, so it's going to slow down the pressure from the Thieves.
That's a great answer. That is a perfect answer out of NYSL as Royalty. Round the corner he goes. Meanwhile, it's Drazah over in the flank, so LAT actually spawn up on the preferred side. And they'll not just invest one streak, they'll invest the other. Doesn't find any damage, but it at least gains the information for LAT. A big investment for one of the best hills to hold in all of Vanguard, and it appears that it was, in fact, a worthy transaction as long as they can win the fights up close. A slower game for the Alaskan Assassin, but he's at least able to put one away. The nade will come through over the top. New York looked to clear things and set up for this next hill. And I think all things considered, I mean, what? LAT get a good 15, 20 seconds, but they invest both the streaks moving forward. You're happy about that if you're New York. We'll see if this hill, labeled the money hill, will be that for them. This hardpoint, Jay, could decide the game.
Yeah, last time we saw New York, they were able to hold it down for the first 40 seconds. But only being down by 50 points now. If they can hold this, they basically tied the game up. See all of the Thieves just trying to slowly approach towards the middle of the map. Just trying to open up with the kill. Envoy able to hit the backside. Takes down one, but Crim and Clay answer with 2 of their own. A lot of gunfights going back and forth. Spawn still coming in from New York. The pressure's here from the Thieves.
Kenny ends up walking with the trades. I mean, these are some close spawns right now for either end. NYSL with the preferred spot, but Kenny taking players down left, right, and center. Is that 4? Nearly makes it 5 in a row. Does get dropped. But NYSL will hold valiantly for as long as possible. They've got the time, and the hill will be a successful one. But looking ahead, as we said on Gavutu, it's all about thinking ahead. NYSL will get the same spawn as now they will send all 4 over toward P1 and through the beach side we go. It was a chaotic kill last time, and NYSL will have to do the same thing. A big spot already for Kenny. Crim6 is able to read him as Thieves will be at P5 first.
And spawns do flip. This is exactly what New York want to try to do. He just has to get out of this red tower spawn. Drazah doing everything he can to just stay alive on this point. 227 to 175. The Thieves are able to get this time. They will be able to close it out, but New York, they find 3 kills. Last player on the ship's area is going to be Octane. 30 seconds remaining. You have to start thinking about that rotation because the Thieves, they would no longer be able to win it here. As they are going to be early towards that P1. You see number 3 on your minimap, Kenny, ready for the rotation.
This has been an impressive comeback from the Subliners. We talked about it, 3 hills in a row where they had to work from the back foot, and they've managed to do so. Hydra falls, but as the final 8 seconds will tick away at P5, we're now going back toward P1. It'll be the Thieves to start. Subliners are going to have to work out a strategy, have to generate some bit of success, either through their front side or even through the middle side of the lane. Trades back and forth we go, and with that, Subliners going to have man count advantage. Kenny's going to have to go big in the meantime. LAT sitting on 232, but the Subliners get 4 down.
That's 4 down. Now with 40 seconds left, New York are trying to make the comeback happen. Crim on a 5 spree. If he can pick up these kill streaks, potentially pick up that glide bomb, it could be so big, but Kenny shuts him down. Now with 30 seconds remaining, the Thieves, they find 3 kills. Only 2 players left from New York. Royalty has to go big. He takes down 1. Fortunately, he does get traded. 1v1 all left up to Hydra. He actually wins that one-on-one. So now Clayster and Hydra have to try to go big here. Envoy finds 2. Envoy almost with the 3rd. But eventually the Thieves break in, but they cannot win here.
They cannot win it at this hard point. The Subliners are aware of that, as they look to set up for next, but Drazah's picking them apart in the middle of the map, as that'll be 2 for Drazah. 7 points away are the Thieves from walking away with this game, and they've cleared out the middle. NYSL now with panic have to get to the hard point. Can they get here? Can they at least stop the time? They will for a second, but it's not gonna matter. A back and forth game, but the LA Thieves will hold on here on Gavutsu. You felt the desperation, the importance from the Subliners' end. And that hardpoint losing streak will only continue. Don't play us on Gavutsu. We learned exactly why that's the case, but NYSL gave it their best shot.
They really did, man. It was a close game, number 1. Keep in mind that the Thieves still picked up 2 glide bombs. They had those streaks to work with to break any hill when necessary. But New York, they were just fighting back towards the later half of that game. Hydra put up 40 kills, 27 non-traded. The only player to go positive on the side of NYSL, and they only lose by 30 points. Let me tell you right now, if NYSL are gonna go back and watch this VOD, only thing you gotta do is just step up in the slaying. Because if that guy's dropping 40, you're losing by 20 points to the best hardpoint team in the game. You only have little mistakes that you need to fix.
Well, that's the problem that we talked about, right? I mean, it was a matter of, like, what, 3-4 hills in a row where LAT got the early advantage, and New York are constantly working, trying to generate spawns, trying to have the advantage. I mean, what, it's like LAT getting 20 points to New York's 30. I mean, at some point you're going to catch up, but it just felt like they were always on the back foot. But a lot of the reason why they were even in a spot to try and challenge, to maybe walk away with this hard point, was, as you said, Jay, it was all on Hydra. 40 and 24, a fantastic game. But really the story from the Thieves end, right? More consistent across the board. No major slayers taking off from the LA Thieves side. And when you look at the stats, right? When you look at their hard point, there's not one standout player. I mean, everybody, for the most part, sits around even. A very consistent team is this LA Thieves roster in hardpoint, and they showed that in this opening Gavutsu here.
Yeah, they're just playing fundamentally correct. We saw a lot of the rotations for NYSL. It was 1 player, possibly 2, but there was always an opening. Like that one time where Envoy was able to sneak his way all the way through Cliffside to get towards the back of P4.
Right.
It almost caused an issue for NYSL, and that is where you can tell like their setups, their teamwork is still not fully there. They need to make sure that they keep the fundamentals